don't know what it was, but I think the idea that Hulu has had a good reputation of films recently, so I thought that this could be no different. Now let's get into the review of this film right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. Today we're going to be reviewing the film False Positive, which made its world premiere at Tribeca Film Festival 2021, and then is going to be releasing, as it already has distribution, releasing on Hulu June 25th. So yeah, I don't know exactly what lured me to really want to check this film out, besides that it was going to be on Hulu, and Hulu has had a good slate of films recently released. I thought Plan B was good, and I thought Run was one of my favorite films that I've seen of recently. And so seeing another film coming out, as you know, they have like a limited amount of films that comes out on Hulu, but seeing this film, seeing who was involved with this film, you have Justin Theroux, who just came off of a project that I thoroughly enjoyed, and then you have Ilana Glazer, who I thought the two of them could make a very interesting combo and dynamic, and indeed they have. And so upon checking this film out, I definitely have a lot of thoughts about this film, but overall I thought this film was super entertaining. I really did. And there was a lot of imagery that I really love, something like the cinematography in this film. Like there was a lot of scenes that I was just like, holy hell, this is good. So but anyway, let me get into what the premise of this film is about, and then we're going to break down some things. So you do have the two of them who are a couple who are dealing with fertility struggles, and in doing so they seek out help from a very reputable, celebrated reproductive specialist. And now mother to be, as she's suspecting now that she's able to get pregnant because of her treatments here, she's now very suspicious and also kind of losing touch of reality about what actually happened and about the fertility clinic in its own and the specialist. So to kind of make that into even smaller terms, they go see somebody, and all of a sudden things ain't really looking what it seems to be. Things seem to be a little bit shady, and like we even see that as the viewers too. Like beyond the idea of this mother wanting to be pregnant, and just the fears of being a mother, and just the mental and society pressures of being pregnant, you know, beyond actually getting solutions and answers to that, she now gets what she wants, but now she's suspicious of the clinic and the help that she received, and she feels that everything isn't what it seems to be. And there's a lot of tug of war here with this, because for one, you sympathize with the character here, and you want to sympathize with her because only she knows how she feels in this situation. And for every moment that you want to impose a feeling on this character, much like some of the other characters in this film, you're just dreadfully wrong, because it's really not for you to do so. So Lucy, who's played by Ilana, is, you know, going through this where, you know, she's at work and she's dealing with pressure, she's dealing with all types of, you know, awkwardness, and just all types of different things that people are saying to her that isn't really considerate to her, her circle of friends, her husband, and then you got the suspicion of this fertility clinic. So you're dealing with a character who's going through you know, a lot of emotion on the road to just wanting to be a mother. By the way, Ilana, who is actually pregnant right now, is absolutely stunning, as both in this film and in real life, pregnant. Like she, and like they say it in the film about her glowing, but like she really is glowing. And like even that statement, you know, when it's taped to her in there, it's kind of like it's kind of a tug of war in it, because it's kind of like you see people that say it and it's like, well, are you being genuine, or are you just saying it to say it? And like you see her really go through this mental process of trying to really make sense of this and the reality around her, that like this is really a big struggle for her, and this is also a huge responsibility for her going forward. And people have, you know, their demands and how this should be done, and their expectations, and she only wants to do what she feels is best for her. And even for her husband, who also has his own certain expectations, which is also a little bit troublesome and bothersome for her. So and like, to be honest, there's a lot of gaslighting going on in her direction, which is like really the core issue with everything that's happening around her. Like, there's just a lot of gaslighting, people making her think that she's crazy, people that, you know, are passing judgment that's really unwarranted. So like, a lot of that stuff is kind of going on here, and this is, again, it's just the difficult pressures and decisions that she's faced with on a day-to-day. So as far as the filmmaking process here, the score I love, and you know what I really loved about the score? I love how the score and the chemistry between your two leads work against each other. And what I mean by that is that the score gives you this really suspicious feeling, and the two of them give you like good energy and chemistry and like promise. So it's like positive and negatives, and they're like working against each other, and it's also creating this friction and with you, where you're just like, I don't know which way to lean here. Like, is she really going through something? Like, is she really having a mental breakdown? Is this prepartum depression that she's going through, or is everybody what they're saying entirely true? And I mean, is she entirely true and everybody else is just gaslighting her? So like, it's crazy how the score really plays to that, which makes it super, super interesting. By the way, with everything that's kind of happening in this film too, I really, really love the idea that they were able to interject history and facts and knowledge about the woman reproduction system over the years. I thought that was super important to really bring in fact into a film that really was kind of leaving it up to you to kind of decide certain dynamics in this film. So I thought that was really empowering for them to do so in the way that they did. But you know, I also gotta say that Ilana, who is mostly known for her comedy, I thought she did a super solid job in a serious role here. I thought she was fantastic by herself. I thought she had amazing chemistry alongside of Justin, who plays Adrian, and I think that it just was just an unlikely couple that I knew would, that I was definitely curious, but I did not know it would work in this capacity. That was just so believable. I thought they did really well together. And like, let's be honest, there is some events that happens in this film that's just completely unbelievable. By no means is the plot completely, it's like completely airtight. There's definitely a little bit of hiccups in there one way or another. But I especially with the twist that happens in this film is too. But overall, the film still kept me engaged. The unbelievable factor, the twist that really comes out of nowhere, it still kept me very much engaged. The last 10 minutes was just absolutely out of this world nuts. I thought this is where Ilana really got her money's worth, along with the cinematography. She's so badass. There's this slow motion scene that is just really epic. And then some of the imagery of her walking, slow motion walking, she's covered in blood and she's just standing tall, holding her own, this really strong woman presence, I thought was just fantastic and a really good way to end this film, considering all the things that happens in it. So, you know, this film, I will say that I enjoyed this film. I was definitely entertained the entire time. I thought, again, it wasn't perfect. It definitely had some flaws in it, but I was engaged, and it was short. It was about an hour and a half, so you know, it felt shorter than that. So you know, definitely a lot of action. Because it's a thriller, you definitely have your detective hat on the entire time, being suspicious of every character, wondering what's to come, who to trust and whatnot, you know. And obviously this dynamic between the character Lucy of like, is she really tripping, or like, is she like genuinely, is this genuinely what's happening? Because you are seeing things that could be an illusion or could be real, and like, you know, it's giving the viewers a lot to work with here. So overall, I enjoyed this film. But yeah, this is False Positive. It's going to be on Hulu June 25th. Jump in the comments, folks, and let me know your thoughts about this film. And as always, folks, stay tuned because we got more reviews coming very soon. Thank you for watching, folks.